Hello, good morning. So I've got a question today from Becky, and she wants to know what is the best way to work on your intuition each day. Something I can sneak in while taking care of my 11-week-old son. Thank you. I love this question. I have a whole program on developing your intuition called Intuitive Soul School that I typically host twice a year. So Becky, stay tuned for that as well. But this is my favorite tool, and it's fun. So letting yourself feel into your intuition and waken that power within you, it should be fun. And I think of it kind of as like a game that I play with myself as I start to develop and strengthen and build on all of this. So I like to pick a card deck. So for example, let's just pull out this one, and then I always recommend Earth Magic as a deck for people who are just getting started. And here it is. Okay. So these two are actually both really good beginner oracle card decks. And using cards is not required to use your intuition. It's just a feeling within you, but it's a fun tool to be able to play with that. So what I would do is I would get any set. I can send some links to these decks, but pick any deck you want. And I would pull a card for yourself every day. So this is something really easy you can do with an 11-week-old or anybody who's busy. Like first thing in the morning, go pick your cards up and just call in universal guidance, looking for general guidance today, and pick one card. Here's my card, the cave, the sanctuary. So you pull the card, and then instead of going, because most of these come with a book, that describes what that card means, I want you to just put the book aside, and I want you to look at this card, and I want you to look into it and see what comes up for you. What does this mean to you? So I've got this word sanctuary. What does that mean? What is the energy of that word? There's a man painting on the walls of a cave. What does that mean to you? There's this fire, there's this warmth going on. What are the colors in here? There's a lot of blue energy in this card, some brown energy in this card. And so everyone's going to interpret this in a different way, but that's going to be based on your intuition. So pull a card, and instead of reading the book, just feel into it. And that's a way to help tap into the energy of a card and the message that's coming through the card, so that then when you're out and you're just talking with somebody, having a conversation, you can also feel into the energy of that by practicing the energy of a card. Okay, so it's just a simple little thing you can pull, and you can read into the energy of it, and then you can translate that out into the world when you're making decisions, when you're talking with people, when you're deciding which direction to take on the road. So that's one way. Another way to utilize the cards to help strengthen and use and work on your intuition every day is to pick a card. So I'm shuffle maybe a little bit more. Okay, so I have no idea what this card is, so I'm going to place it so I can't see the other underside of the card, okay? And I can put my hands over it. I can just I can stare at it, even though all I can see right now is the top of the card that looks like this. And I want to feel into the main color of the card. So certain decks are easier to do this with than others. Like this deck has a lot of color in it. This might be easier actually with this deck, because each card has a background color. And even what you could do is you could pick some of the ones that are more primary type generic colors, not sky blue. So I would get purple and blue, and here's pink. Let's see, I'll pull another purple out. Here's a green, okay, and orange. So I'm just pulling out some of the cards that have more standard colors. Same thing, I could just take this little part of the deck that I pulled out and give it a little shuffle, and then I'm going to pick this card, and I'm just going to feel into what is the energy of this card and what color is coming up. So I would just give myself a guess, and maybe I'd pick like one color and then be like, oh, if it's not that, maybe it's this. And you can have like a backup answer too, and then turn it over. Did anyone have any energy of this card that they picked up? It's more of a brown. That's why the Earth Magic deck's a little bit harder, because there's so much color in each of the cards. So I would say the general color here is kind of like a brownish. Goddess card. Anyone pick anything up? It's pink. Pink. But if you had said orange, that would make sense too, because there's still a lot of orange in this card. So you might pick like a secondary color that you're also feeling the energy of. So how can you tell the difference between intuition and fear? I have a video on that I can share with you, Julia. I've done a video on that. Yes, exactly. There's a big difference, but also it's a subtle difference between determining, is this my fear voice or is this my intuitive voice? And that's why cards are a really good tool to start to work on your intuition, because there's not anything like threatening or scary, or it's not like a big life decision that you're trying to make. It's just like a piece of paper, cardboard, right? So that's why I love using these, to just start to practice it, that then you can take it out into the big world. One more way to do this, if you don't have cards and don't want to purchase cards, is actually just to get a partner and grab your boyfriend or whoever, a kid, and have them think of one of those like a main colors. So like blue, green, yellow, orange, pink, purple. Did I say purple already? Red. So you're thinking of just like basic colors, and have them pick one of those basic colors. So I'll do it right now. And I'm going to think about all the things that are this color, different things in the world that are this color. I'm like seeing this color in my vision. I'm thinking of this color. I'm imagining myself wrapped around in this color. And I want you guys to see if you can pick up the color that I'm thinking of. Put it in the comments right now. So what color do you think I'm thinking of the basic colors? I'm going to really think about it here for a second. Okay, put your color in there. I thought of like a bajillion things that were this color. And that's a way to see if you're picking up on energy. The color was red. So I was thinking of like a fire truck and a stop sign and a stoplight and an apple and a lollipop and like all the things that are red. So that's a fun game you can play with anybody. So you can just, like, a kid could play this. Be like, hey, I want you to think of a color, and say that they're thinking of blue, and, you know, okay, I don't want you to say it out loud, but I want you to think of as many things as you can think of that are this color, and they're thinking of all the blue things, the blue sky, and the blue ocean, and the blue sweatshirt, and then you feel into the kid's energy, and you're like, is it blue, right? And see how that's working. It doesn't have to be with a kid, but again, like a lot of us, not myself, but a lot of you guys are moms in here, so that's something fun that you can actually do with kids. Cool. Okay, so those are a few tools, quick, easy tools to start working on your intuition every day. Enjoy them, have fun. I'll pop some links to these different card decks below. And if you guys have any more questions, remember every Monday, Coaching with Sarah thread, put your questions in there and I will come live and I'll answer them.